The Canadian men's national team has had a tremendous day, of course, with the friendly on June 5th being announced with Panama. That has also led to two huge transfers for the national team, seeing Stacchio's triggered clause being released with Porto, which means he will be staying at the club for another 5 years, as well as Charles Andreas Brym, who will be staying in Holland, but going to the Eredivisie and joining Sparta Rotterdam in a huge move for the young Canadian. And this has been a massive day for Canadian men's national team soccer, but we're going to dive into these two transfers, and we're going to be starting with Charles Andreas Brym. The young 23-year-old Canadian striker has had a tremendous transformation of a season with FC Eindhoven in the second division of Holland, where he's managed to score 9 goals and have 1 assist to his tally in a brilliant year. Yes, sadly, they did just miss out on the promotion to the Eredivisie with FC Eindhoven in that playoff final, but he fortunately has got that move and got that huge transfer for himself to a big club in Sparta Rotterdam. Yes, it's not one of the big clubs in Eredivisie like the likes of you have PSV, Ajax, Feyenoord, and of course AZ Alkmaar. He is joining a side in Sparta Rotterdam who struggled to score goals last year, a team who is the second lowest scoring team in the Eredivisie, only having 30 goals, only being above the worst side in the league in Zwolle, who only managed 26 goals to their tally. So Charles Andreas Brym is a huge addition to Sparta Rotterdam, a team that needs to add goals and bring in goals to this team that is really lacking any kind of creation and goal scoring ability. And Charles Andreas Brym is very much going to add that. A very versatile forward who can bring you goals, who can add in nice, beautiful play up top, and is going to be a huge addition to the Sparta Rotterdam side, as he's made some terrific leaps and bounds with FC Eindhoven, and he is well deserving of this move to the Eredivisie, as he really broke through with FC Eindhoven, having a 0.33 xG per the 90 this past season, as he did score 9 goals and was a crucial player to this FC Eindhoven team, which without Charles Andreas Brym, they probably wouldn't gotten close to that promotion push if he wasn't there. And he was such a crucial player to this side. But earning that move to the Eredivisie will not only get his name out there, will boost his stock, will help him, and will really, if he can start scoring goals for the Sparta Rotterdam team, will really help him get out there, because it is a team that struggles to score goals, and it will help him as much as Ike Ugbo did, earning that move to Troyes in Liga when Ike Ugbo was able to start producing in a top-end league. And this is only going to help Charles Andreas Brym push his stock to get in this Canadian men's national team for the World Cup in Qatar, as he is on the outskirts looking in right now. He has made the squad for this upcoming window, but he isn't a lock, and he could become a lock if he can start producing in the Eredivisie, a top-notch league, where I do think he can produce, and I think he will surprise quite a few people in the Eredivisie and start to really show what he's got. But moving on to another huge player in the Canadian men's national team, one of our most underrated, but one of our best players in the midfield, and that is Stacchio, who was on loan with FC Porto this year, and that was due to the loan move for Oliveira, who moved from Porto to AS Roma in January, which led to Stacchio moving from Paços Ferreira to FC Porto in January. And this was a brilliant move for Porto, a loan move with a very cheap triggered clause. Of course, he did only appear in 8 games, having 1 start per the 90, which he was pulled out very early due to a tactical change and switch in the system. But this is a massive move for Stacchio's career moving forward, getting to play for a top-end side in FC Porto, a team that went unbeaten this year. Truly a top team, broke records, went 48 games unbeaten, and were unable to be stopped. And of course, they ran this league this year. Of course, they got top teams in that league like Sporting, Benfica, but he is joining a very prestigious league, where, yes, he is arguably not getting as much playing time as a Canadian fan supporting him. We'd like to see him get more time, like a Loreo needs to get as well. But playing for a top side like Porto, where he's still getting bench minutes, where he's still going to be playing in the cup, where he will get the occasional 90-minute stint, is still absolutely huge for him, because he's still playing for a top club in one of the best leagues and most prestigious leagues in the world. Arguably is a top 5 league in the world. In my personal opinion, it is above Ligue 1 in France, because it has a lot more top end quality and a lot more teams challenging for the title. And going to Porto, it's only going to help his stock as well, just like Charles Andreas Brym. Him being able to play for FC Porto, getting some Champions League minutes, getting some minutes in Europe, whether that be if they get knocked down to Europa League. Either way, this is crucial for Stacchio, as he is still a young 25-year-old who, for me, can easily work himself into the starting 11 of FC Porto. Of course, with Oliveira moving probably to Roma, we'd assume. This is just an absolutely brilliant move for Stacchio. And with FC Porto triggering that purchase option for Stacchio, that will be a 4 million euros. And that is extremely cheap for a guy like Stacchio, who could easily be worth quite a bit more. And that is just an absolute steal of a deal for FC Porto, landing him from Pacos Ferreira, which I'm surprised Pacos Ferreira didn't ask for more money, as they have to give more money to the club that they bought him from, as that percentage of sale goes into that deal as well. But this is a 100% deal, a clear-cut purchase for FC Porto, as he will be signing on a 5-year deal until 2027, and it is a brilliant move for the Dragons, as he will continue to play for FC Porto to come. And of course, I think it's only going to help Canada as well to keep playing a guy like Stacchio, to keep playing in a very good league and with some top quality players. Yes, he may not be starting every game, but the fact that he's training with some of the best players out there and playing with some quality opposition as well in a daily basis, getting to really thrive in some very top end culture as well in Portugal, where you're playing in some hostile stadiums, some very heated places, of course, like Benfica, Sporting, and you got some other places as well. But even Stacchio for FC Porto has been truly brilliant. When he's come on the field, he hasn't really looked off the pace. He's looked very good. Of course, at Pacos Ferreira, he was by far their best player, was an X factor for Pacos. Without them, they would have been relegated a while ago. And it is absolutely huge news that he has been triggered. That clause has been triggered for him to stay at FC Porto. Because for me, it was up in the air if he was going to stay, because you never know what's going to happen with Oliveira and if Stacchio is going to be able to earn that move. But it's been a huge day for Canadian men's soccer. Before wrapping this up, I want to quickly touch on that Panama Friendly. And I think it is amazing that we were able to get a friendly. Yes, it is unfortunate with what happened with that Iranian game, and I don't really want to touch on that with all the politics going on, but the Panama game is still a great game, as Panama is by far one of the best teams in CONCACAF and could have easily made the World Cup qualifying. We're just off. I think it's a great friendly to land, because they are a very good team, and if they do bring and come out with their best opposition and really try to challenge Canada, and Canada goes out there with their best side of Fonzie, Jonathan David, Stacchio, it's going to be a great game to really challenge us, even bring out Luka Kolyosho, the young 17-year-old. It's going to be a brilliant outing for John Herdman and the boys, because they really need a friendly that can really prepare them for the World Cup in 2022. And for me, Curacao and Honduras definitely weren't going to cut it. Teams that are below the level, getting in French Guiana would have been by far a terrible decision in my personal opinion. And I think this game against Panama is the perfect land. But it's been a brilliant day for Canadian men's national team soccer, as FC Porto has triggered that extension for Stacchio. We have seen Charles Andreas Brym stay in Holland but go to the Eredivisie and join Sparta Rotterdam, and we now are moving forward for Canadian soccer. And this is a huge day for us, as 2 huge transfers and a great friendly has been landed. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoy football news, all the best content, make sure to hit the sub button, drop a like down below. It really helps me out in the algorithm, and drop a comment down below. I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.